So this happens to my belly during pregnancy, and if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you've had this happen to your belly too, and you're wondering, what do I do to make this stop? If you've seen your belly do this, it's because, like me, you also have Diastasis Rectus Abdominis, Diastasis Recti, DRA, DR, all sorts of names for the same thing that basically means during your pregnancy, your belly is growing so much that your abs are splitting down the middle and separating, and the baby and your belly are protruding through that gap. If you want the full definition of what's going on and why we don't really want our bellies to do that, I'm going to point you to this video up here. When I see this on my clients, or heck, even on my friends, I always recommend this exercise right here. This exercise is simple, it's extremely effective, it's making sure you're engaging the right muscles so that you can prevent your diastasis recti from getting really severe during your pregnancy. My name's Dr. Nicole. I'm an obstetric pelvic floor physical therapist, and before we dive into exactly how to do this exercise to make it the very most effective that it can be, I wanted to just give you a little background and say that I'm not just a mom that had 2 kids. I mean, I am a mom. I did have 2 kids and I am pregnant with my 3rd, but that's not why I'm qualified to talk about this today. I have actually had 7 years of schooling to get my doctorate in physical therapy. I then went on to get certification in pelvic floor treatment as well as obstetric care, which means I specialize in working with moms during pregnancy and after pregnancy. And I also have additional training in hands-on manual work to work on fascial and visceral mobility and all that good stuff. So I am highly qualified to talk about this today. So without further ado, let's jump into all the cues that I give my clients when I am teaching them this exercise. First of all, you want to get into a hands and knees position. Now, this isn't the only position that you can do this exercise. You can do this exercise laying on your back. You can do this exercise sitting up. You can do this in standing, leaning over a counter, all sorts of ways to do it. But anytime you're in a hands and knees position or even leaning over a counter, you are actually using the weight of baby as somewhat of a weight to train with. There's extra weight there, and so you're getting the most out of this exercise because you're actually lifting up the baby, the weight of your baby, every time you contract your core muscles. Once you're in a hands and knees position, we need to first talk about the breathing that you're gonna do. I wanna make sure that you're inhaling through your nose and that you are filling not only your belly by relaxing your abdominal muscles, but you're also feeling your ribs expanding. So your belly relaxes, your ribs expand. Your pelvic floor should also be in a nice open position as well. After you've got the breathing part where you're inhaling through your nose and filling everything up, and you're exhaling through your mouth, and that's when we're gonna start squeezing everything. As you exhale through your mouth, the first thing I want you to think about are wrapping your abs around your baby, like you are giving your baby a big, giant hug. So you're going to think about zipping up the middle or drawing your belly button towards your spine. And in a hands and knees position, you actually will see your baby and your belly lifting up and drawing up towards your body. So you're gonna inhale, fill up your belly nice and big, ribs expanding. Exhale, wrap your abs around your baby and draw it up close to your spine. Inhale and completely let it all go. Now, if you really want to get more out of this exercise, you can also include your pelvic floor muscles, which I highly recommend doing, as you're putting a lot of stress on them during your pregnancy, and we want to get them trained for labor and delivery as well. So what you're going to do is, as you inhale, fill and relax your belly, you're also opening up your pelvic floor and relaxing that as well. As you exhale out through your mouth, you're going to squeeze your pelvic floor shut and lift it up. For this part, you can think about drinking a milkshake up through a straw. You can also think about picking up a blueberry with your pelvic floor muscles. You can think about closing in around a tampon or stopping the flow of urine. Usually one of these cues resonates with people and they think, okay, if I think about that, I can actually feel my pelvic floor muscles squeezing tight and lifting up towards my belly button just a little bit. So to put this together with the breathing and the core engagement, what you want to do is you want to inhale, relax your belly, relax your pelvic floor, exhale through your mouth, hug your baby with your abs, draw your pelvic floor muscles up and in like you're squeezing that blueberry, lifting that ice cube up into your body. Inhale, relax your pelvic floor muscles, relax your belly, let it all go. Exhale, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, wrap it around as if there were a tampon in there, hug your baby with your abs, draw it up towards your spine. Inhale, let it all go. The next logical question that almost everyone asks after I show them how to do this exercise is, how often should I do this exercise? I highly recommend you do about 5 to 7 reps, so 5 to 7 times you're squeezing everything and letting everything go, about 2 or 3 times a day. It's not something you need to do 100 of, it's something you need to do multiple times a day in different positions. So maybe in hands and knees, maybe leaning over the counter while you're making dinner, maybe when you're laying on your side in bed at night, or maybe when you're sitting at the dinner table waiting for someone or talking to someone. Lots of different ways that you can do it. The more comfortable you are with this breathing pattern, this contracting of your ab muscles, the easier it's going to be to recover and repair that diastasis recti, close that gap up, as they say, after you have your baby. If something still seemed confusing about that, go ahead and put your question in the comments. I'll be happy to answer it in a comment or a future video. I also want to make sure that you have different exercise modifications so that you know how to replace exercises in your normal workouts that aren't so good for your diastasis recti. When that video is ready, you're going to see it right up there. Until then, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, a great pregnancy, and I'm wishing you all the best.